What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So yeah, today we got the Division 2 reward upgrade. Please drop a like and subscribe if you're brand new. And yeah, we're just out here creating content. 85,000 coins for Division 2. It is really, really nice. I looked at the Elite Division rewards. You guys are about to see them. But anyway, 86 plus five players. Not too bad. I thought the rewards this week were great. I'm glad they finally updated it. They started with the Elite Division, which makes sense because they are the most important division. It is pretty tough to, kind of update everything all at once. They dropped a few title updates. Now everything is here. But anyway, here are the players. We get a bunch of gold players every single week. I'm pretty much getting Team of the Seasons from Team of the Season packs. And if I get a Team of the Season, it's not like a special one. It's literally one of the, I don't know what they call the mentions or the highlights, whatever Team of the Season that are 90 rated, and it's nothing too good. But anyway, we've had some really good packs. Our team is literally incredible. And it looks like I'm going to be focusing more of my content on this being like more of a talk show. And I'm going to be talking about football more. I'm happy with that, obviously, because you guys obviously watch a lot of content. And I actually praise you guys because you watch a lot of my content as well. I used to talk quite a bit on, my streams and everything. And I did that to see how many viewers I would get. I was very curious how it would go for a while, and I wanted to maximize and try to figure out my true potential with it. I think we're going to need a lot more subscribers to really be like a decent streamer at least. As for now, I think videos are going to have to do. And I actually prefer videos because, I get to review this content as well and look at something a little bit better. The highlights are really nice to look at if you're a football fan. It doesn't matter what type of fan you are. I believe highlights are good in every single, version, including real world football. Anyway, speaking of real world football, I'll also be talking a lot about, AC Milan, Chelsea, Manchester City, Real Madrid. And now, if you think about all of those clubs, it is really, really tough to cover every single one all at once, right? I made AC Milan the main cover of my channel, and the reason for that was just because I wanted to start somewhere. I think I watched a lot of Chelsea gameplay. I grew up watching Chelsea, and I'm just used to it. It was easy for me to kind of present, and obviously being English speaking, it also meant it was easy to analyze and relate to a lot of the fan base. But besides all of that, it was not much of a challenge and wasn't different. I had been watching Chelsea Football Club for 5 years, or still like around 7 years before that. And yeah, once I created this channel, I just decided, I've always been a huge fan of the color red, and YouTube, the platform, has, kind of a red and white theme. So I just decided, hey, why not go ahead, support AC Milan, since a lot of Chelsea players actually moved to that club initially. And not just that, but the whole club as a whole. The more I went into the history and finding out the type of players they have, their style, whatever the case was, and including, the amount of Champions Leagues they won, second best in Europe, which is crazy, which is second best of all time, I believe. And, as well as all the Serie A titles they've won. I haven't done much research on the Serie A side, but they had won the Serie A recently as well. So it was going to be an easy club to support, realistically. And I think AC Milan is a fantastic club. I'm glad that I did this because with AC Milan, watching the games was not hard. It was literally just, you start watching, you get into the first 10 and you're like, new to the whole system. You're hearing new commentators for the first time. You're getting to know the new teams for the first time, new players, everything is just different. And, even the match previews and everything is a lot, it's not the same as it used to be. I'm not watching the same creators as I used to, and things change. I think it's going to be me supporting AC Milan the whole time now, because I don't really have enough time to go ahead and watch 5 football matches every week. And you can imagine the amount of football that goes on. I can't analyze every single club in the Premier League. The only way you can semi-analyze every single club in the Premier League is by looking at the amount of wins and losses they have. Or if you want to be like bougie or something, you go ahead and you look at the amount of goals they've scored and the amount of goals they have conceded. No one really goes into XG per player unless you're looking at a specific player maybe you want your club to buy. So no one really knows too much in football. We all kind of meet in the middle on match days, and that's when we find out who's been playing well, who's performing well, and which club is doing well. Anyway, my end of year review is definitely going to come starting this year. And I'll definitely just look at, the Champions League, what went right, what went wrong, what I was impressed by, what I was not impressed by. I'll look at the Serie A, the Premier League, La Liga. Those are the leagues that I actually watch. So I think those are the ones that I'll look at. And yeah, I can definitely say, from results that I've seen, from the style of play, I think, yeah, Real Madrid is definitely still my favorite club. And not just my favorite club, I think they have some of the best football the world has ever seen. They perform so well every single week. And yeah, but despite that, I think AC Milan has been my favorite club to support so far, just because of the era in which that I started supporting. I feel like the club is just fantastic in terms of every single detail. And hopefully next year in the Champions League, they start to show all their quality and all the players just appreciate Max Allegri for what he's showing the club is actually capable of. This year, we have seen players complaining about, maybe not winning a few matches, and perhaps we have, so now I'm leaning more towards AC Milan news. Anyway, Div 2 rewards were basically the main theme. You saw that in the beginning of this video. This was the gameplay leading up to the Div 2 rewards. You can definitely see some of the decisions made were not fair. I was angry in some moments, but I was overall impressed. The game has impressed me so far, and it's a lot of fun to play, especially when you get good at it. If you guys want a very good just way that I describe the game and how to win more games, you should go check out one of my latest videos. It's literally titled Win More Games, the easiest thing to watch. And I guarantee over time you'll definitely improve. But despite that, I just want to say, with Milan specifically, yeah, I think Allegri has had a tough season, as in, people don't really believe in you, despite how many Scudetto titles you've won, despite how many Champions Leagues you've won. It's just about what you're doing at the moment. And he had a tough project here. He took Milan all the way up to second for most of the season, and then they dropped off here at the end, probably injuries and, fatigue. And now they're in third place and looking at a tough end to the season. But I think the team is working extremely hard. They're performing really, really well. And we're complaining that we didn't win the Scudetto at the end of the day. We're not complaining about how to get into the top four. It's literally like, oh man, we should have won the Scudetto if we had just beaten Napoli and Lecce, whatever team we lost to. I can't remember. Napoli, Sassuolo, one of these other small teams that we just didn't play well against. If we had won that match, maybe we could have won the Scudetto. Anyway, I'm telling you for sure it's going to come. Anyway, today I made a little bit of a shorter video just because I wanted to release as soon as possible, but more of that coming.